Last month, we were invited to a Christmas party with a bunch of people that we didn't know that well. One thing led to another, and I suggested that we bring some smoked dino ribs. The only stipulation was that I couldn't bring my camera, lights, tripod, or overhead camera rig to film the slicing. I couldn't let you all down, so I negotiated up to a discreet phone camera. Let's get into the cook. First, you need some nicely marbled dino ribs. If you can't find them locally, then check my gear page for a link to Porter Road. They'll deliver their 14-day dry-aged, pasture-raised dino ribs right to your door. You have a couple of options when it comes to trimming the fat cap. You could leave it as is, or trim it down to 1/4 of an inch, or just remove it completely. Today I left it as is, but removed the sliver of meat on top to prevent it from messing with my fat cap. I keep the membrane on to hold the ribs together as they cook, but give it a quick score to try to get a little rub through the underside. I like to trim anything that I think will burn and round off the corners a little bit. For a binder, you could go with water, hot sauce, mustard, but today we're using Worcester sauce for a little extra umami. I then rub with a custom blend of salt, pepper, garlic, and Lawry's and let it sit in the fridge overnight. The next day I'll smoke it at 200 for 2 hours to get more smoke early on, and then bump it up to 300 until it probes tender and easily bends when flexed. I keep a pan under the ribs as they smoke to catch all the drippings, which I turn into tallow by straining it through some paper towels. I then put it in my prep tub to let the temp settle down to about 160. I don't wrap during the cook, but I do for the rest to help the bark retain moisture. I'll then put it in my Drip Easy barbecue blanket to help retain heat. If I'm going to hold it for more than 4 hours, I'll put it in my oven or HeatMax food warmer, which will keep it safely above 140 degrees. Otherwise, I'll just keep it in a cooler or Cambro. It was a really cold night, so I put it in my Cambro Go box for the car ride, but I was explicitly told to not bring that big box into the party. So when we arrived at the house, I moved it back into my prep tub to easily carry it from my car to their kitchen. Then, after we got all the pleasantries out of the way, we got to slice and serve. Everyone loved the ribs and wanted to know more about the cooking process. I made a bunch of new friends that night, and we're currently planning our next party, which will definitely include some dino ribs.